Galactic Genocide Simulator. Stellaris. A game where you lead an empire into space, discover the wonders of the galaxy, and befriend your neighbors, which received a recent update that added a few but significant new features, of which I intend to break. So the first thing to do in Stellaris is to make an empire. And out of all of these wonderful races and species and groups of people, we are playing as the Soviet space necromancers. All you need to know is that we are a machine intelligence and a determined exterminator. Don't worry about that second one, it's definitely not important. So getting into the game, we are greeted with the entire galaxy. As you would expect, our leader is none other than Supreme Comrade Space Stalin. Our capital is Space Moscow, and our starting solar system has just about absolutely nothing. Looking at Space Moscow, it is a machine world, which basically means that we have destroyed all organics on the world, and it is just a giant ball of metal. Okay, and already it seems like we've discovered a pre-FTL society, which is basically like a bunch of tribals. So right over here on this beautiful little planet, there are 28 pops. And if we go and look right here, we can see they are pre-FTL, which means they've got some primitive mines, a couple primitive factories. They are the early space age, which means they're actually getting to the point where they could become an empire in of themselves. Or at least they would if we weren't going to invade them. So now that the system has been fully surveyed, we can use our construction ship in order to construct a starbase at the system and claim it, and then expand the bounds of our empire. And our science ships can keep trying to survey more and more systems so that we can expand all of our stuff upwards and downwards. Also, through right here, you can see there are a couple other planets we can colonize. And believe it or not, machines are pretty good at colonizing planets because they don't need oxygen or food or literally anything. So in terms of resources in the top, we have quite a lot of numbers. This is a paradox game, so it's pretty much all menus and reading. So to help simplify it for people who don't know most of this stuff, we have money / energy, food and consumer goods, which we don't need because we're a machine intelligence, alloys, which is for building ships, influence, which doesn't matter because we're a totalitarian dictatorship, and unity, which is essentially going to allow us to pick from a whole bunch of even more reading. The most important thing you need to know is that out of all of these, we're choosing the supremacy branch, which is essentially going to mean we kill stuff better. And of course, we get the agenda, military buildup has been unlocked, which we are definitely going to be using later, because our empire is a determined exterminator, which basically means that, there are these things called biological life forms that we hate, and our sole goal is to essentially eliminate all biological life from the galaxy. I can also go into our government and take a look at our shadow council right here, which is right now only one member, Space Stalin, and then our policies and edicts, it says a lot about our empire. Our diplomatic stance is extermination, subjugation war terms, oppressive vassalage, and our orbital bombardment stance, which is normally, selective to not hit civilians, indiscriminate if you want to get a little more crazy. Ours is Armageddon. So for right now, we can come over here and colonize one of these planets by building a colony ship. We'll name the colony something special. Space China, there we go. You discovered yet another pre-space age civilization, another 28 more pops, and another planet that we can invade. Although for right now, what we're gonna be doing with these planets is just observing them, because we want a few very special ascension perks and technologies before we invade. All right, and now we have our very first colony, Space China, which we've put right next to the pre-sapient civilization. So as soon as this bar completes right here, we'll have another planet along with our capital. Oh, and it seems like we've made contact with our very first aliens, an unknown entity, which is, well, unknown. So now that means we get this menu over here where we're trying to decipher the language of the other people. And really, I don't know why that's even relevant. We're gonna declare war on them anyway. So we could also head over here to all of our ships and start building a bunch of corvettes because we're gonna do a lot of invading. And we're gonna colonize our third colony, Space China 2. All right, and it looks like Space China is now fully operational, so we can start building the buildings, upgrading districts, which basically produce resources, and starting to install and create more robots on the planet. Holy Jesus, what the hell? Horror in the void. We've encountered some kind of vast entity. I don't know where it is. All I know is that one of my science ships is now missing. Oh, it's over here. It's by a black hole, which is, oh, we're gonna go the other way. I think up here is much more our style of invading other organics. Okay, so it looks like with the Z aliens and the language translation, all the first contact protocols, we can keep at it. or steal one of their vessels. As we have located their home systems, we may try to abduct specimens from there. Sure, why not? That's like the space age way of saying, we know where you live, and then doxing their IP address, and then stealing their kids. All right, now that we've stockpiled a bunch of alloys, we can colonize the remaining planets that are near us. Everybody give it up for Space China 3. Not to be outdone, of course, by Space China 4. I honestly just lack all creativity. Okay, it seems like the Z aliens are not super happy that we stole their people. Now, while our initial plan was to use the aliens to decipher their language, I think the better decision is we have no need for survivors, which just gave me like 400 Unity. All right, and we're gonna invest that right into ship upkeep and naval capacity. And in terms of the other group we're contacting, the latest reports are disturbing. They seem to be organic. Now, there are actually other synthetic and robot empires out there, which are the only ones who can be our friend. Okay, well, it seems like we've discovered our first civilization, and it is the Augie Nolux Accord, a direct democracy. We have literally only 2 responses: scheduled termination postponed, or target identified, seek and destroy. Okay, they are right next to us, which is actually pretty surprising. That means we're gonna have to build a starbase right here and really pump up the military. Oh yeah, slam down a few more ships. The nice part about being determined exterminators is that we get a plus 25% ship weapons damage and a whole bunch of other opportunities to make our fleets insane. The downside is that pretty much immediately as soon as we run into someone, they will want to kill us for completely unfair reasons. Normally, in order to declare wars, you need an actual reason. So if I go over here into claims, we can claim other systems, you know, diplomatically and all that. Not that we care, because instead of claiming systems, we could just go over here and declare war for the purpose of purification. We don't need a reason to declare war. We just don't like you. But for right now, we do need to build up our military, because then we can actually invade their planet and take all their people, who we are definitely going to treat very fairly. And as soon as I say that, it seems like the pre-sapients are trying to find extraterrestrials. You found them. Okay, so we've just gotten enough unity to get our final supremacy trait, which is going to allow us to get an ascension perk. Ascension perks are essentially super powerful endgame bonuses you can get. Things like the Colossus project, which destroys planets. But for us, we have a very special one, Necromancy. Defeated organic leviathans can sometimes be resurrected, and purged biological pops can be restored as cyborg zombies. So by taking this, now we can get the Necromancy upgrade. And it also means that we are now ready to invade these goofy pre-sapients. And of course, we do need to train some diplomats, some hunter-killer armies. Oh my god, there's a robotic uprising on one of these pre-sapient planets. So it looks like over here now on the planet, the AI and the humans are going at it, and it's a pretty even fight, or at least it would be if I wasn't going to land my armies in orbit. Now the odds are ever so slightly more in our favor. So it looks like the robots won the Civil War, and it seems like they have become determined exterminators. Now what's about to happen is that they are basically going to take all of these systems, which means Space China and Space China 2. I feel for those planets, I really do. But on the other side, we could just vassalize them. So we are going to lose both of our colonies and the entire system right there, but this also means we get a new determined exterminator friend. And it seems like we've discovered the second group of organics. I like how there's a handshake there. That is definitely not what's happening. And they are located directly to the north. I don't know if they're allies with these people, but hopefully we can isolate one of these factions and then just totally destroy them. We can also choose another unity tree. I think synchronicity is probably the right one to go for right now, which is kind of just gonna help our leaders in like general maintenance sort of stuff. Also, on a somewhat related note, orbital invasion time. Unsurprisingly, we are absolutely decimating them because we are, you know, several hundred years more advanced in terms of technology. Minor things like that. And now that we have taken over the planet, ba-ba-bing, ba-ba-boom, we have 28 more pops. Now over here, we can see that this population is declining because we're purging them. But arguably more important than just purging them is the fact that we are making boatloads of cash. By purging this species, we are making 95 income, which is, okay, now it's 125 income, which is almost more than our entire income itself. Scum and villainy on Obashoth 1. I'm not really sure what kind of crimes people are committing, given the only thing that's happening is we're eating them. So remember how we took that ascension perk called Necromancy? Well, if we head over to our colonies over here, we will notice that now the population is weirdly increasing of Ytrellans. And the reason for that is that a new subspecies has been created. All of them are zombies and cybernetic. Being a zombie means that they can't be employed as leaders, rulers, or specialists. Basically, they can't do much of anything, but they can work the mines. So our entire generator network is being run off of zombies running on treadmills. So Space China 3 has discovered a whole bunch of moving islands, and you know, we have all these options to study the islands. No we don't. If they're alive, they won't be for long. Of course, not before we continue to keep building up the size of our fleet and say hello to our neighbors. Or actually, it looks like our neighbors are about to declare war on us first. It seems like they're preparing. Also, we just discovered a gigantic skeleton, and I think because of necromancy, can we make it move again? So to prevent these guys up here from getting into the war with these guys down here, because we need to isolate them and take this faction out first, we're just gonna declare war. And the casus belli for our war, well, it should be obvious. And then for good measure, we'll just hit them with an insult. The vileness of organic physiology is universal, but yours is particularly worthy of extermination. The best part is that it is also going to bring our vassal into the war over here, so their armies are coming in, our armies are coming in, and pretty much everybody combined is gonna come in for the kill. So we destroy the space station right here, and we just immediately get the system. In a traditional game, you have to go through a whole peace treaty, and yada yada yada. We don't care. That's kind of close, but I think we're gonna come out on top. And there we go. And now we can take out this smaller fleet. Okay, they just died instantly. Oh my god, our vassal is absolutely tanking. He's destroyed this fleet over here, destroyed this station. Now we're just gonna continue to follow him. Okay, and now our next target is the big boy. Oh, well, there goes all their science ships. Final station, this is their capital city all right here. All their planets. As soon as we take this, we are going to have the biggest area of all their pops. Unfortunately for us, if we take a look at their planet, they do have a pretty massive garrison right here. Their leader's pretty good, and they are really stocking up on units. Unfortunately for them, I'm not afraid to blow up the planet. Oh my god, even my ally is coming in now just to join in on the orbital bombardment. Devastation's already at 5%. We're destroying pops of theirs, and some of their armies are just being absolutely destroyed right here. All right, and now that the garrison is low enough, we're gonna go ahead and land on the planet, and immediately we just destroy any and all resistance, and now it's ours. And as you might imagine, policy number 1, turn everyone into money, and then zombies. Then we can move over, occupy this planet with a look at all that resistance. There was none. Pretty much on all these planets we're taking, we do have low stability because we have 0% pop approval rating. I couldn't imagine why. But if we check back on the other planet we conquered not very long ago, pretty much everybody has already been turned into zombies. Man, so fast forwarding just a little bit, you could see that we have destroyed so many of the systems right here. We've taken, I think, another 4 planets. It's about to be 5. Okay, what I don't like is the fact that, yeah, defensive pacts are starting to be signed, commercial pacts. Everybody who's near us is beginning to realize that we are an absolute monster, and they are all starting to band together. I do need to actually go and manage my colonies because there are a lot of problems in them, lots of unemployment. I mean, the people aren't working for money. They are working for the glory of the machine space Soviet necromancer Stalin-led empire, as one does. All right, and after we invade one more planet, that should eliminate the faction and end the war. And also apparently open up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more planets to be colonized over here, along with all of this stuff that we've started discovering. But our big problem is that these guys have a defensive alliance. Actually, wait. Oh, they just straight up subjugated them. Glad to know we're not the only authoritarian tyrants in the galaxy. So if we declare war on this faction or this faction, it'll pull both of them in. So we do need to be prepared for a 2-front war. For right now, though, I'm just trying to go through and get our economy under control. You can see up here, it's okay. We have a decent energy income, good mineral income for building stuff, and decent, I mean, we don't really need food that much. We're just, I'm not sure what we're feeding our zombies. Actually, I guess it should be pretty obvious. Oh, crap. Okay, so we just got an event that means a meteor is headed towards our pre-sapients over here. If we let the meteor get there, it will destroy the entire civilization. All right, yeah, oh wow, that was pretty easy. We just immediately destroyed the meteor. Now look, I don't want to say you owe me, but you owe me. Although, but right before that, the special project has been completed. It hungers one giant skeletal army. How strong is this thing anyway? It is 222 power. That's literally stronger than our entire invasion fleet of hunter-killer drones combined. There are so many planets for me to colonize. At this point, I'm just naming them random things like, you know, whatever. We've also gotten the technology to start building destroyers, which are like corvettes, but twice the size and twice the firepower. Oh my god. Okay, so we just intercepted communications with the Dabux Deathbringers, fanatical purifiers. These guys are essentially the organic equivalent of determined exterminators, except instead of just hating life forms, they hate everyone. Okay, so we just found another empire, and this one is a holy guardian, which means no matter what option we choose, they don't care. The reason for this is because they are a fallen empire, which means that they are so incredibly powerful compared to us, but they also don't do anything. Oh, great. The galactic community is now born. This beautiful conflagration of all the different groups of empires around the galaxy. They get to join together and pass all these cool laws and things, just like the United Nations. Definitely very useful. Now, as much as I'd love to join this community, I don't. Oh my god, I think we just had our golden opportunity. Because right now, all of their fleets are pretty much everywhere else. They're over there, so we need to rush in and take out these super high-powered space stations, because if they're here while we're trying to fight them, we will lose. Luckily, ships are way better than stations in terms of DPS, but it is frighteningly close. Oh wow, they're still training units that are immediately dying. This does seem like the perfect opportunity for another invasion of this most recent planet, but 215 garrison, meet my army of resurrected dinosaurs. My ally is also coming in and destroying on his own right, taking out a whole bunch of the other places that we're not able to get to right now. My income has also skyrocketed because now that we're hooking all the biologicals to our grid and mainframe, we are making so much money. All right, I'm trying to reinforce my fleet as much as we can right now, but my ally production is kind of limiting me at the current moment. What is pretty helpful is that all the worlds we're occupying, I'm just immediately turning into forge worlds in order to make them produce all the alloys necessary to destroy their empire. Although our enemies have a whopping 10k fleet power coming towards us right now, but as long as we sit on one of these two naval bases, we should be okay. My ally is also going ham on that protectorate down here, where he's just sending a really tiny fleet and just taking as many systems as possible, because I don't think they even have a fleet. All right, if we can come over here and try and take out their fleet, okay, there we go. I mean, as scary as this 9.6k fleet power is, all we have to do is bring in both of our fleets combined, and it is a meat fest. I'm even adding in another massive fleet over here, and because we've just researched cruisers, which are another higher level unit, we're beginning to add all of those into our army too. All right, we've taken out their main fleet now, so we're gonna try our best to crack this capital right now, and it is, oh my god, it is an absolute slog. This thing is just not going down. We actually lost. Christ, okay, so we're gonna have to regroup with all of our fleets in a second and really get over there before we get taken out by a counteroffensive. Unfortunately though, our war exhaustion is 100%, which means pretty soon our enemy is gonna be able to force peace with us, which, while being bad, we also took like a solid 50% of their land. You know, I like the fact that I can still look at the galactic community, and despite the fact that there is a fanatic purifier down here who is destroying everyone, a determined exterminator up here annihilating various organics, the galactic community is voting on recycling initiatives, which will be followed up by workers' rights, random research crap, and literally everything that does absolutely nothing. Oh look, the Exploitation Act is on the bottom, which honestly, to be fair, makes the Galactic Council probably the most realistic thing about Stellaris. So now that we've finished our third tree for domination, we get another ascension perk, and this is where we get some more interesting choices. More specifically, become the crisis. At the end of the game in Stellaris, there's a massive crisis that the entire galaxy has to deal with. It could come in the form of a superpowered empire, killer robots, extraterrestrial invaders, or in our case, us. If we choose the Ascension perk, Become the Crisis, we will become the endgame crisis, which is surprisingly helpful for our goals of complete obliteration of the galaxy. Now, the problem with taking this is that it's going to begin to make everybody hate us somehow even more. So I'm not going to take it just yet. For right now, we're gonna go with Synthetic Age, which is gonna allow us to improve all of our machines and our pops. But later on, we will be taking Become the Crisis and another fun little project. For right now, though, our main priority is just reinforcing all of our fleets because we did lose everything to that star station. I also didn't realize that we discovered another civilization all the ways over here. It seems like they're in the Iron Age. There's only 9 of them right now. Look at that. They've only got a bunch of stone palaces and primitive dwellings. The game seems to think that they have crude but effective tools. I think my giant resurrected skeleton monsters are slightly more effective. The dominant cultural groups regard us as wise and mighty beings, and they've pledged their lives to us. They're giving us a whopping 50 food and 50 minerals. Thank you, guys. I assume it took them like 8 years to mine all that stuff, and we just took their entire economy. Oh, and now they just straight up worship us. So for our next tradition, we're gonna go down the synthetic tree, which we can now do because we had the Age of Synthetic Ascension perk over there, which I can't show me. And this one is essentially gonna give us a whole lot of ways to improve our robots specifically. All right, there's been a bit of a time skip because I've had to wait quite a while until I could get all of my fleet skin capacity. And I mean, you know, we have about 50-ish thousand fleet power here. We are going to obliterate them. So I'll come over here and do the honors and hit them with a holy crap, what? Yeah, it's because they have vassalized everyone around them just about. They pretty much destroyed these people and just so happened to vassalize them too. But like any good military tactician, it's time to fit the circle through the square hole and just go to war anyways. Okay, so both of their fleets just jumped out of their main system, so we're just gonna try and ram through here with as many armies as we can. All right, we need to lightning strike this thing. And there we go. Oh my God, and it's gone immediately. Oh, and we got lucky. They came in to try and fight us. Oh, hey, there's their only other fleet, and that's gone too. Now it's time to do the honors of bombing their capital with like 50k fleet power. Holy crap. Yeah, those garrisons are not gonna live for long. And now we can invade the planet. That should be a boom bang bim and 44 more zombie cyborgs. Oh, is that the... Okay, well, there goes the faction immediately above us, and we've also located the Cybrex home system. So as part of us being a whole bunch of exterminators, we've also discovered a precursor faction a while ago, which was the Cybrex. And the Cybrex are, well, you know, also determined exterminators, but they're all dead now. But with a bunch of Cybrex artifacts, now we found their home system where we could repair all these ring sections in order to have a massive functioning ring colony. Oh, I didn't even realize that by killing these guys, it automatically pieced us out with all the vassals because it freed them. But as you can see, our empire is, now looking somehow more disgusting than it was before. Don't worry, Empire of Zimpok, we'll be back. Okay, now we get to the big thing. Our last synthetics thing has been completed, so now we can take the grand thing known as Become the Crisis. So over here we have menace objectives: destroy empires, enemy ships, purge or assimilate pops. Oh, that one's gonna be easy. And by getting more menace, we proceed down this crisis tree. As we go down, we get all kinds of pretty insane bonuses and eventually can build a megastructure that will wipe out all sapient life in the galaxy. We also gain a new casus belli on literally everyone. Not like that matters because we already hate everyone. You know you're pretty evil when the fanatic purifiers are even insulting you for being an endgame crisis. Along with the slaving despots. Yeah, constitutional dictatorship. I don't think that's very constitutional. Pretty much everyone is pathetic to us now in terms of power because we are an absolute menace. Literally. So right now we have about 200,000 fleet power, a little bit under that, and I think it's it's time we revisit one of our friends. Hello, intergalactic dimensional horror. Meet my dimensional horror called 200,000 fleet power. Oh my god, it just instantly died. Our scientist also studied the dimensional horror and got jump drive tech. And that's kind of insane. Normally our ships have to go across, you can see one by one, to all of these different sectors in order to actually traverse them. Jump drives basically say, no, go wherever the hell you want. It's like looking at a vast national park and saying to yourself, yeah, we should build a highway here. Except instead of it just being the park, it's literally the whole galaxy. Now we got the Drums of War, which is the Great Khan. The Great Khan is pretty much the mid-game crisis of the game, and he's pretty strong. What he's gonna do is unite all of the raider pirates in the map and try to subjugate everyone around him. There he is, right there. Okay, so the Great Khan, I literally didn't have to do anything, and he immediately died. He literally made it 3 steps outside his house before he was mugged by a bunch of robots. You know, potentially problematic. On Space Moscow, our capital, we got this modifier called Destabilized Horrific Mass from killing the giant space monster. It's trying to tear the fabric of reality apart. Now, we could try and get rid of it, but I kind of want to see what happens. And the only modifier is called Too Late. Well, we just created a new Void Beast, and our capital is now gone. Well, I won't lie, losing our capital is pretty bad. That basically just took out, I think, about half of our research total, but we do have a couple more systems that are kind of doing that for us. I'm also a little concerned about the new space entity that seems to be living here. I feel like the right thing to do is to completely ignore it and go after and declare war on our neighbor. Wow, we can either wipe them out or cleanse them. It doesn't really seem to have a difference. All I know is that my fleets are close to double theirs in okay, I couldn't even get a look at their fleet because it died so fast. I'm also pretty impressed with my ally. My vassal is still with us after all this time and rocking their own like 50k fleet power. Good job, mini determined exterminator. I'm sure you'll do great. We are now level 2 crisis threat, which gives us, I think, a new kind of corvette, which is good. Damage burst starbase is 30% and war exhaustion gain -75. That means we can just infinitely wage war and our population will never get tired. Man, it feels a little overkill landing like 3,000 army power worth of Cybrex warforms onto like immediate obliteration of every single unit on the ground. And then we just land on this moon with 21 people on it and just commit so much collateral damage. You can watch the devastation go up amazingly. We're also just gonna take a pit stop over here, absolutely demolish the caravanners, you know, totally neutral faction, very peaceful. Who cares? Truth be told, they're just kind of annoying. We also got our last tradition, so that gives us the ability to get perhaps the best thing we can. And what better ascension perk is there than planet-killing weapons? Instead of having to go through the whole rigmarole of invading and then conquering and developing and ruling, why don't we just blow up the planet? Okay, so we've completed the Colossus research, and now we get 2 choices. Either a neutron sweep, which is going to destroy all biological life on the planet, which is pretty good, or the world cracker. So instead of killing people on the planet, just blow up the planet. And I think the decision is pretty obvious. And this is what it looks like. It's literally just a box. And now to give it a creative name. God, I have literally no creativity. Okay, so I think now is probably a good time to make peace. We're still building our Colossus, but we've gotten a good fourth of the galaxy, at least up here for right now. And man, everything looks disgusting because there's just little blips everywhere. Okay, I just colonized a random section of this Cybrex ring, and apparently because we blew up our capital and sucked it into the abyss, here's our new one. You know, I didn't even know that this was a thing, that I can ascend all kinds of planets that we have on here, and we have quite a number of planets. I've honestly just stopped controlling them because at this point, I've just put all of them to be self-automated. It's got 96% devastation. Everyone is homeless and everyone lacks amenities. 0% stability. I'm just gonna choose to ignore this planet. I'm sure the AI will fix that problem and definitely fix my economy, which is 135k alloys with almost 1,000 income. Oh, I also just realized we're at 50 star bases out of 28 capacity. Starbase upkeep plus 550%? What did we do? My naval capacity is 1,700. I need to fix this bad. The worst part is that we're not even losing money from this. Starbases make up $3,000 of my upkeep. Oh my god. My entire economy is just starbases right now. The AI was just building them en masse for like, I don't know, the second coming of Christ or something. There's starbases all over the place. Okay, you know what I was expecting least of all, and it's not the starbases. It's the fact that the AI and automated management decided to resettle forcibly 126 pops onto this ring world. These 2 ring worlds alone are carrying my entire economy on their back. Oh my god, it's done. It just looks like a space bus. And who better to test it on than our enemies right here? Lots and lots of worlds to explode. Before our next war, we can also start producing mega structures, which are going to help us immensely. They're essentially massive planetary undertakings that we have to build in orbit because they're just that massive. We're also going to take this 400,000 fleet power and fly it directly into an ether drake, which, as you can see here, is a sort of massive space dragon. And let's see if we can take it on. Okay, and it just instantaneously died. And better than killing the ether drake, we just turned it into a zombie. So now if we come over here, we have the ether drake, which is 80k fleet power itself. That is almost as large in one ship as our entire fleet. The problem we've run into is as soon as I declare war on anyone, it pulls in everyone. It turns out that when you've already defeated half the galaxy, people are kind of afraid of you. We've had so much menace this entire time that I just haven't been doing the special projects, and we are absolutely going to get to menace level 5 immediately. So as soon as we complete this very last one, we should be a max level menace and should be able to complete and start building the special project that will pretty much destroy the entire world. Community declares us a galactic crisis. I'm flattered. Seems like the only time they actually stepped out to do something, and it's, oh my god, I'm fighting everyone. Okay, so now we just need to build the etherostatic, that thing, and we just got free 2 star eaters. I don't even know what those are, but I'm pretty happy with that. Not only can they blow up stars, but they're strong enough to decimate entire fleets on their own. So we are now fighting a war against literally everyone in the galaxy who has declared war on us. The only people who haven't intervened are the fallen empires, which is pretty nice because they might actually kick our ass. Actually, no, I take that back. Our fleets are vastly larger than theirs. Jesus Christ, these Star Eaters are 50k fleet power a pop, and they're just one ship. And they have an ability called Crack Star. Well, I mean, I have to test it out now. Holy crap, this is what our giant megastructure looks like. It costs 20,000 dark matter. See, this is where having a massive economy is actually pretty helpful because I think I could just buy most of that dark matter. The rest of it has to come from, you guessed it, blowing up stars. All right, I've mobilized every single one of our fleets because we have to kill everybody on these outskirt adjacent areas to us as soon as possible. And luckily, our fleets are large enough that they could single-handedly take down pretty much entire empires. I mean, this is literally all the ships this one empire has to fight us with, and they are now pretty much all dead. And now we get to watch as our Colossus runs in here. Woo, our little space bus is just zooming across the galaxy at the speed of light. All right, it seems like this is our Colossus charging up to obliterate the planet. It's 80% there. Oh my god, I think we're gonna be able to do it. And now we're also bombing it with ships above. Well, there goes the 8 pops on that planet. I hope the moon right next to it got a good look, because we're cracking you next. Okay, very unfortunately though, it seems like this made our subject absolutely hate us. Something about, I think we accidentally blew up their world. I'm also gonna have this Star Eater consume one of these stars. It's literally just a giant cube. Oh my god. All right, well, we're 90% of the way there. What happens when we eat this star? We have some planets here. I don't really care. Oh my god, the enemies are trying to come into the system. No, what did they do? It's gone. They just absolutely destroyed every single enemy fleet. Every single planet is gone too. On the right side, that just gave us like 2,000 dark matter. Yeah, I mean, who cares about destroying planets with Colossus if I can just destroy entire systems? Oh, there we go. Another system consumed for our gods, which is, you know, me. We can abandon most of these sectors pretty easily. I mean, they're not all that useful to us. Okay, it seems like over here, the ultimate battle of good versus evil is gonna take place, because there is pretty much all of their fleets over here, and we have 3 of our biggest ones over here. What's good is that our planets are getting invaded, which, as much as that doesn't sound good, it's really distracting them for a while. I mean, a lot of their armies should be trying to fight us, but they're too busy bombing planets into the ground. As a matter of fact, they're so busy bombing planets, we should be able to come over here and just lightning strike a whole bunch of their fleets. I am so impressed with our colonies right now, because somehow we are actually winning some of these invasions. We just lost that one, but we won it the first time. All of these planets have been stalling for so long, and all of them are just filled with cyborg zombies. So I built a sensor array, which basically lets us see essentially the entire galaxy. This is the fleets that are on their way to kill us. I am so afraid right now. I'm trying to build up this station as much as I can. We're smacking a ton of defense platforms on it. We're putting ships here. I mean, we have 400,000 fleet power, and I'm not even sure that's enough. I think one of the best things I find about this whole scenario is that I'm still able to buy dark matter on the market, which means the rest of the galaxy, despite everything that's going on, and despite being fully aware that if I get enough dark matter, I will blow up the world, they're still gonna sell it to me. At this point, I'm just turning every single one of my worlds into forge worlds so they can just pump out alloys and nothing else, because we just need to be building ships, and that's pretty much it. I mean, look at the fleets that they're able to wield. That one almost killed us. And, you know, the one right after it almost killed us. I also used our Ascension perks to get Dyson spheres so we could start destroying entire planets for materials, because we need a lot of those. Matter decompressors are also only built in black holes, and turns out we make those, so that's pretty good. Oh, there goes one faction, the first of many. All right, another star exploded. We're slowly eating up those stars. We've got only 18k dark matter. I did have to replace one of our star crackers, but we are kind of looking okay. Because of my lovely sentry array, I can see absolutely everything on the map, which is why I know exactly how screwed we are. And it's very. And now we have enough dark matter to begin construction of our first engine frame. And it's not gonna take that long, and we should be able to get the next one after it even faster. Oh god, they're attacking our main fleet over here, and they are destroying. Okay, unfortunately, they've kind of breached our inner defenses here, and we are rushing everything we have because they are throwing bodies into the meat grinder. I mean, I thought I was unethical, but man, they are just a complete meat packing plant. The whole economy is definitely not doing so good, but I can keep reinforcing all of our armies. I mean, look how many fleets we have. Literally all of my hangars are just constantly building. Okay, so first phase of our engine is done, and we still need even more dark matter. Now we need 30,000 more dark matter, so we need to completely consume. We are slowly eating away the inside of our empire. I have collapsed so many of our own systems, and I still have so many more to go. The game keeps trying to notify me about my planets being attacked. It's like, hostile fleets present. At least one hostile fleet. At least one? My planets are literally being bombed into the Stone Age. I mean, there's like nobody here. There's no garrison. They're just bombing it for fun. The only people they're bombing are cybernetic zombies as well. That's the best part. What's nice about becoming the Crisis is that normally we do need to use alloys to build our ships, but when we become the Crisis, they only really cost minerals in these different kinds of formats. So if we could get enough matter decompressor sites, we can basically build infinite ships. I've also just stopped invading planets at this point because it's so much easier to just walk the Star Eater over and blow up the entire galaxy. Well, galaxy later, solar system first. Baby steps. Okay, we are gearing up for perhaps the biggest battle I've ever seen in Stellaris. I've taken pretty much all of my fleets over here and put them on top of this starbase. I don't know if it's gonna hold. Nothing brings me quite so much joy like watching these Star Eaters go around and blow up neutral systems with creatures we haven't even bothered to translate the language for, because why would we? Finally, we've collected the 30,000 dark matter we need. We have swallowed just about every single planet in our main area, and we've started destroying all these neutral planets and systems as well. But we can begin construction of the second tier, or I guess third tier? I can't believe, I'm literally looking around and I have 80k fleets just like scattered around the galaxy because I can't be bothered to find them. It's like reaching into your pocket and then pulling out a Star Destroyer. Oh crap, I was not reading what just happened. And apparently we spawned a ton of psychic creatures all over the galaxy. I mean, our space stations are dealing with them right now, but holy crap. On the bright side, they're fighting everyone, which includes the entire galaxy. Everything you see with these skulls over it is a random shroud entity we've just thrown at everyone else. We're getting to the point where I am seriously running out of stars to destroy. I mean, you can see the big empty field over there. I am jump driving over to the fallen empires and then just blowing up systems directly next to them. I mean, this is on the border of the Holy Guardians, and oh yeah, surprise, surprise, they don't care. Oh my god. All right, bring it up for phase 4 of the engine. We have eaten so many planets, and we still, this entire side of the galaxy is just gone. And I still have more to eat. It didn't take us that long at all, and we have destroyed every single garrison on the planet. And at this point, we're just bombing civilians. 38 civilians, 37 civilians, 36, 35. This planet is gone. The best part about Armageddon Stance is that when you bomb a planet enough, it doesn't just become devoid of life. You literally turn it into a tomb world. So now it is uninhabitable for pretty much everybody but us because we're robots. Okay, we're finally at the second to last tier of the engine. And how much more dark matter could we possibly need? We just need 50,000 dark matter. Woo! It's pretty beneficial that I just get to jump on top of this guy's planets and then just immediately crack the star. These few pops are just watching as a giant cube flows over here, and then the entire solar system is gone. Oh no, another wave. More of these shroud entities are just spawning everywhere. They are absolutely everywhere in my territory. Oh my god, the notifications are going off the screen. I'm trying my absolute best to keep the Empire in one piece, and let me tell you, it is difficult. Oh my god, just one of my fleets is able to take out even the scavenger. I'm not even sending anything else. That was a mistake. Well, I was hoping it wouldn't get to this point, but I am running out of stars to destroy, so sorry, my own colonies, but you know, the galaxy calls. I mean, it's not all bad, you know, their lives were for something. Okay, with this last system, this should be the cataclysm for us having 50,000 dark matter. Oh my god. To celebrate, I feel like the only rational thing to do is to go blow up a holy world. Emerald Mausoleum was a holy world. You do not know the true extent of your sin. Not yet. Oh, really? And what are you gonna do about it? Oh, fuck. Seems like they are gonna do something about it. I wasn't sure if that would awaken the fallen empire, but it looks like it just did. And with it, 500,000 fleet power in a single fleet. And it is way faster than us. Oh my god, run. Run, run. Oh no, they're coming. They're coming. Oh lordy, they're coming. Oh crap, they just destroyed the starbase instantly. Okay, well, I am marginally very afraid. Oh my god, they just awakened a 700,000 fleet power. And then I have another 300,000 on the Federation over here, another 8. Oh my, okay, this is not great. But for all the effort of them right now, we only have about 300 days until we complete the the engine, and I have no idea if that's just gonna immediately end the game or we have to do anything else, because that 400,000 flower fleet is very close. Okay, come on, guys. Don't you think this is like a little overkill for invading a 17 population planet with like 200 people on it? All right, 50 days left. They are right on our doorstep. If they go a couple more jumps, they're on top of our engine. But I think we're about to get it. And boom. Well, after reading with this paragraph, it seems like we are going to blow up every single star in the galaxy.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
There goes every single group of people. Every single system is destroyed and just a worthless black hole. But apparently we have transcended to a higher plane of being. I don't know what that means. But hey, destroying the entire galaxy, I consider that a win. This video was considerably longer than I intended, so if you somehow made it to the end, congratulations. I mean, I'm not even gonna tell you to like the video, I'm just impressed.